What's poppin', family? What's poppin'? Welcome back to the channel. I am your mistress of ceremony, Lady Nyca, and with another reality TV show review. This time it's one of our scripted shows over on the OWN network by the name of Ambitions. It is season 1, episode 1, Friends and Lovers. I apologize that it's a bit late, but y'all know that I work too, child. I got a job, so I have to do this when I can, and I had to get off, look at it again so that I could give you a thorough review, because I'm going to go pretty much scene by scene because it's a new show to kind of introduce you guys to the characters and what we are dealing with in this season of Ambition. So this review may run a little bit longer because I have to introduce it to you guys so that we'll be able to flow free on next week's episode, okay? Queen Sugar, which is currently airing right now because it's like 9:30 Central Time, my time, I will have up tomorrow as well, but I had to get Ambitions out tonight to you guys. So let's get into this new show. I think I'm going to like this. It's messy for damn show, and it kind of holding my attention. So I think this is going to be something that we are going to be able to talk about every week, and I think we're going to have a pretty good time chopping it up down in the penny section, aka comment section, for those of you who are listening to this via the YouTube. So let's get into it, child. Now, this show is based in Atlanta. You got this family, the Carlisles. They are a powerful family of lawyers. The oldest daughter, Stephanie, is married to the mayor of Atlanta, this guy by the name of Evan Lancaster. Then we have another couple. It's Amara and Titus Hughes. Amara is a prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, Stephanie and Amara used to be friends back in college. Amara's husband, Titus, is a big lawyer for this big pharmaceutical company who's fighting this class action lawsuit brought on by Stephanie, the Lancaster / Carlisle family. Okay, Stephanie is married to Evan, who again is the mayor of Atlanta. So we have the Carlisle Lancasters. That's one family. It's really started by Steve Carlisle. He's this big law firm in Atlanta. His daughter Stephanie is coming up under him, his little protege. She is married to Evan Lancaster, who is the mayor of Atlanta at this time. There is also another married couple, Amara and Titus Hughes. Titus and Amara and Stephanie all went to school together. Apparently, at one point, Titus was dating Stephanie, but he ended up being with Amara, who was actually a friend of Stephanie. And now they have all been, Titus and Amara moved to Atlanta for this new job that he's got with the pharmaceutical company ran by this family called the Purefoys, okay? Now, Evan has this old ghetto-ass sister by the name of Rondell Lancaster. She's a restaurant owner. There is this fashion designer who will be designing clothes for Stephanie Lancaster. And she does some other stuff. I smell a hoe, but we're going to get on into it. There is this guy by the name of Greg Peters. He's a real estate developer, a big wig in the city of Atlanta. And he coming for Rondell because he wants her to sell her property for this new development plan that he has. And the Carlisle's Lancasters got their fingerprints all in it. Now, Evan is the brother of Rondell. But see, he married to Stephanie Carlisle. And the Carlisles run things from what it seems in the city, right? Anyway, in the beginning scene, we see him, we open up with Titus and Amara about to get it in. Oh, nasty piece of sex scene. I was here for it. They had their clothes on, though. And she makes the statement that she loves when he touches her. And child, it took him all the way out the spell. That man peen went soft and he ain't want no parts of it. See, we learned that Amara cheated with someone by the name of Damian Collins. And moving to Atlanta was supposed to be their new beginning. But Titus is not quite over that affair that she had. Now we got Stephanie in bed having a bad dream that she found someone who I assume is her sister, Tracy, laying in bed, and when she goes to try to wake her up, she notices a syringe on the floor. Stephanie has overdosed on opioids, okay? So Tracy overdosed on opioids, and Stephanie found her. She's calling out for help. Evan comes to the room nonchalant, saying that the girl is dead and that she next, and he pull a gun out on her and shoot her. Now that's the dream Stephanie having, because she's still having nightmares about her sister taking her own life to opioid addiction. Okay. The next morning we see them at the breakfast table. We learn that they have a daughter by the name of Carly. Stephanie feels that Carly is not living up to her full potential. See, she wants her to go into a more male. She wants her to be. She ain't cool with her being a theater major. She wants her to be more than that. She wants her to enter the law firm eventually, as she did. But Carly ain't really with that. But Evan just want her to be happy at the fact that if theater is what she like, let her have it. But Stephanie giving me, I'm an overbearing parent that want to control my child tease. That's what I got from her. Now over at Rondell's, they jamming onto some new edition. If it isn't love, getting it in right, working. When in comes Greg Peters talking about selling her business. She ain't trying to hear none of that mess. She told him, I still got 2 months left to get enough signatures to stop your plan for redeveloping this area. Child, he starts making little subtle threats at her, talking about, is her restaurant up to code? He'd hate for it to catch a fire with her family up in there and stuff. She caught on to that. She had a blade in her hand, a whole butcher knife, honey. She told him, don't ever threaten me or mine again, and get the hell out. Well, child, he a little bit on the cray-cray side, because he walked right into that knife to the point where it pierced his motherfucking flesh and you could see blood coming out. And he told her very sinisterly, don't talk about it unless you're prepared to be about it. Told her he'll see her later. Don't make promises you can't keep, okay? Now we see Amara at her desk when her boss Karen, who helped her get this job over here in Atlanta from Birmingham, where they came from, she tells her about this case they're building, a case of corruption that is involving the mayor's office, and she felt like Amara the only one to take the case. She's the best suited for it, especially since she was a friend to Stephanie Carlisle Lancaster at one point. So she might be able to get a little bit more information on the story, right? But Amara doesn't want to get involved, even though it would be beneficial to her and her boss's careers. She's refusing to be a part of the case. Now, we go over to the Carlisle Perkins law firm. Stephanie comes to see her father, Stephen. He in there with his wife, who is Sister Clara from the Greenleaf. If you remember her, that's Sister Clara Jackson, honey. That's Sister Clara Jackson from over on Greenleaf. She in the office boasting over this gala event that their foundation is having this year. She's projecting it to be the grandest one yet. So she needs to go finish her rich woman dealings, and Stephanie begins to tell her father about how he should finally go on and retire while the firm is doing well. Let her oversee it. That way he would have more time to work with their mother on their foundation, right? He ain't trying to do none of that because they in the middle of this huge lawsuit with the Pure Force. He said he stuck his foot in Pure Force tail 25 years ago, and he planned on doing it, putting the other one in there this time, okay? Now, Daddy say that she can't even keep her bottom-feeding husband in line. So how the hell is she supposed to be trusted with his business, his thriving business? She reminds him, I am still married to him because you thought it would be a good business move for me to remain with him because he's tied to the mayor's office. You wanted that. That's why I'm there. He told her she lacks skills to fully run the firm. Besides, he also let her know, I've been aware that you've been whining and dining some of the senior partners at the firm behind my back. You're planning a coup, but I'm telling you now, nothing happens in my town or in my firm that I'm unaware of. He said, if I find out that you doing any more back dealings, you're going to be out on your ass, whether you my daughter or not. And he walked out of the room after kissing her on her forehead, only for her to say, we'll see about that, Daddy dear. I said, oh. Now, over at the Pure Force, they just had this meeting, and Titus obviously was really putting them at ease over this impending lawsuit, so much so that Hunter Purefoy is singing his praises. So, Purefoy Pharmaceutical is making this pain medication called Limidol. And the Carlyles feel that it's not good for people, even though Mr. Hunter Purifoy, says that it's FDA approved. Child, Purifoy and Carlisle been feuding for years from what we figure out. Purifoy got his half a mind, according to what he's telling Titus, to not to even attend this little Carlisle Foundation banquet gala thing coming up. But Titus convinces him that he should. In light of this lawsuit that's looming, he advises him to go with his family and make a nice little donation. Purifoy tells him that, it's only so far a white man can get in a black town like Atlanta. But together, we can really get somewhere into this situation. We can really get somewhere. So basically, he's saying that he wants to team up with Titus because in a black city, he need a black face to get to where he needs to get status-wise in that city. So he's basically using him as the token Negro. That's what he's doing. Okay? Even went so far as to invite the man and his wife to sit with them at the gala the Carlyles will be having that evening. Then you see Stephanie and Titus meet up in this I guess they gonna talk about the logistic of this impending lawsuit. Now you can immediately feel the tension between the two of them is obvious. They do their lawyer shit talking to one another back and forth, and then they wind up getting a hug, and child, you can tell they used to be lovers, and she's still feeling something. While Miss Mayor Lancaster go to see Peterson, Mr. Mayor Lancaster, that would be Stephanie's husband, Evan, goes to see Peterson on his construction site. See, he had been hearing that he been threatening Rondell, and Peter reminded him that he needs that block to complete his development project. It's plenty of money invested in this and to be made from this. Evan needs to be the first black governor. And if you want to ever see that come to fruition, you better roll with me. Instead of him being offended and sticking for his family, he gonna tell him that he gonna deal with Rondell. And Peters told him, one of us will. Smiled at his ass and walked off talking about he'll be at the gala that night because he loves giving back. I said, oh, Evan is very weak. Now you got Stephanie getting fitted for her gown by Miss Bella, honey. They going on and on about, how well put together she must be. Not for her husband. She ain't think about that. She want to be snatched to the guards to honor the memory of her sister. That's what this gala is all about. Okay. Then she asks who Bella been bringing to the event, and Bella say her friend Roderick, her professional football playing boyfriend, and say he a good handyman. Then Stephanie warns her to have the best time of her life while she young. Child, at that point I say I smell a hoe. Not Stephanie, but Bella. But we gonna talk about it. Stay with me. I'ma bless you. Amara and Titus home talking about their cases, and they mentioned somebody name of Deja. Now I don't know who Deja is yet, y'all, but Titus wants her to be home and closer, but Amara wants her to stay away at this prestigious school to allow them to acclimate to the new city that they've moved into and to reconnect as a couple. In fact, she didn't even want to really attend that gala that night, but Titus said that they must, besides Hunter Purifoy, has invited them personally. So she wonders, will it be awkward considering that he would be in the same room with Stephanie Lancaster again, and since it's been such a long time. And he said that she need not worry, and then he go all back to work like ain't no big deal, right? Child, then they come a scene with Stephanie in the tub, right? And Titus supposedly comes in and joins her in old nasty sex in the tub scene. But come to find out, it's only Stephanie daydreaming in the tub. So she's still holding something for this man. Now let's go to the Carlisle event, child. We learned tonight's fundraising gala is for the opioid epidemic. In honor of her sister Tracy, who died a year ago from opioid addiction. Yep. She then big ups Bella as her designer of her gown. Bella there with the boyfriend, the football player, Roderick, and they all on the red carpet for the event. Smile, smile, smiles. Then inside, it's this upscale, fancy ass ballroom that they got, child. It's just nasty old piece of ballroom. Titus and Amara have arrived and they go over to meet the Pure Fours. Child Hunter immediately is flirting with Amara right there in Titus' face. Old wife of Hunter felt that, honey. She felt that there. She felt him paying attention to this other woman imposed to her. So she asked if he gonna introduce her, and he said, "Yeah, this is my wife, Jupiter." The woman name is Jupiter Purefoy, and the daughter name is Lori. In fact, Lori works in the PR department over at Purefoy, so she and Titus will be seeing more of each other. Now that Jupiter is a jealous one, baby. She old nasty jealous queen. She noticed how her husband was looking at Amara, so she want to be nasty nice. "Oh, you originally from the south side of Chicago? How wonderful. You was able to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Your family should be very proud of you. See, we need more people like you to restore this country back to its greatness. Racist and jealous, honey." Child Amara caught that shade and excused herself to get away from Cruella de Vil, okay? Child Peter sees Rondell moonlighting at the event. She the cocktail girl, I guess, or whatever, or the I ain't gonna call her cocktail witch. I'm gonna say she the caterer, okay? He over there antagonizing her because he knows she can't stand his ass. Evan comes up. Peter tries to be nice, but Rondell told him still kiss her ass, and he said he was gonna miss her. And Evan said, "What they supposed to mean?" He gonna tap him across his shoulders like good boy and walks away. Still again, Evan's a bitch. Child, then we had this bathroom scene between Lori Purefoy, the daughter of Hunter, and Jupiter, and Carly, who is the daughter to Evan and Stephanie Lancaster. Child, Carly is a lesbian. And so is Lori. And she likes Carly. And knows Carly is all in the closet, but wanted her to come on out. Gave her phone number, told her when you're ready to live your truth, then, hit me up. And licked her across her lips as she left that bathroom. Girl, me and Carly was shook then. I said, I like this shit. I don't know, okay. Anyway, Amara meets Rondell by way of food, and she tells Amara that Evan is her brother and Stephanie is her pain in the ass. Then Stephanie comes up, see Amara, they see each other after years, and Amara trying to be nice, but immediately Stephanie is nasty nice. You know how them rich girls speak. Talking about they shared practically everything, throwing a hint over about Titus. Then Titus walks up and Stephanie lets it be known that she seen him just the day before. Oh, Amara wasn't feeling it, baby. Then she lied and said she read an article that he was being hired by the Pure Force, but Amara wasn't feeling that shit. She wanted answers, but she was letting it ride right then. Then up comes Evan. She introduces Amara and Titus to her male husband. He immediately got a chip on his shoulder because he knows that Titus is the ex-boyfriend. So he wants to make it known, first of all, I like to be addressed by Mayor. And ex-boyfriend, I'm the husband. And welcomes him to the city. So nasty nice. Now, everybody, is seated. The Purefoys with the Hughes, the Carlisles and Lancasters. Evan staring at Bella. I told you I smell a hoe. We'll talk. You got Laura staring at Carly. They making eye contact because she still shook over the way this white girl and licked her across her chocolatey lips. You got Titus looking at Stephanie in both ways. Child, just messy. Then Mama Carlisle, a.k.a. Sister Clara Jackson from the Green Leaf, has make her grand speech. She said this is the most successful gala to date. They raised $500,000 for battling opioid addiction in the city. She thanks all her family for being there supporting them when Hunter Purefoy interrupts her speech just to offer her a check, which takes their total sum for the night over $1 million in in honor of opioid addiction treatment, and in honor of their daughter who died a year ago from the addiction to it. Now, Steve Carlisle was not happy at all, but child, he remained silent because coin is a coin. Now, you see Amara and Titus about to leave the event. It's over with now, right? Stephanie was asked him, did that Pure for a donation your idea? He said yes. Stephanie said it was done to upstage my mother. Titus explains that no, it wasn't. That wasn't the intent at all. In fact, I had thought he would just send a check. Amara started defending her husband, saying Stephanie should know Titus would never do something like that. But she said at this point she don't know what Titus is capable of. She said $500,000 ain't even interest on the judgment that she gonna win against the Purifoys in court. Now, that's all she had to say about this, so that conversation ended. Now, over at Amara and Titus' house, they arguing because she mad that he did tell her that he saw Stephanie. He said he wasn't, they opposing counsel, so they gonna see each other, and he wasn't hiding it. It just wasn't that big a deal. Amara said Titus should have married, she said Titus only married her because she was pregnant. She said after I miscarried, you should have gone back to Stephanie. He insists that he stayed because he wanted her and not Stephanie. Then she think he getting back at her because he gonna eventually hook up with Stephanie. He calls it projection because she feeling some kind of way because she cheated. Child, he walked off on her and she picked up their phone and called Karen. Now she wants to be a part of this case that they're building against the mayor's office, which is going to involve Stephanie and her family. Okay? Now, child, it's Stephanie in Evan's house. She telling him that the show's over, no need to be fake any further, no small talk. Child, he threw up in her face that Titus left her for her friend Amara, and it must have been hard for her to be pleasant to them both tonight. She brings up Rondell and how he needs to convince her to sell that property to Peters because he's one of her dad's biggest clients, and the property that Rondell restaurant sits on, he wants it, and he wants it ASAP. He insists her calling he insults her by calling her daddy's little girl and saying that she's always doing his bidding. Even went into so far as to say the old girl can't get along with other men because she into her dad. And child, she slapped the shit out of him for that. Then he called her a bitch and reminded him how much money he called her a bitch. She reminded him how much money they stood to gain by Peter's project and warns him, you better get to your sister and get her mind right before I get her mind right for you. Child, he grabbed her and pushed her up against that wall and told her she ain't nothing and ain't gonna do nothing. Baby, he was running his mouth. He told her why she was so busy kissing up to her daddy, she wasn't able to tell her sister was a fucking junkie. By then, she done went and got that purse, baby. You know when a black woman get that purse, what that is. She put that pistol loaded to his head and asked him, what will I do? She told him, if I was to kill you, trust me, your pieces would be so far and wide, they would never be able to link it back to me. So play with me if you will. Child, that scared the shit out of him. Scared him so bad he ran right on into Bella's shower and puss. Didn't I say I smell a hoe? Bella is screwing Evan, and that's why he was standing her down to the gala. They messing around. Now, we see the final scene of Rondell at her restaurant. It's after hours. She got a close sign up. Somebody knocks. She yells, we close. We see someone come in. We can't make out who it is, but child, whoever that was, she was aware of who they was, and she was afraid because she was asking what they want. And that was it. That was all of the first episode of season 1 of Ambition. I gave you guys a full rundown of each of the characters that we have been introduced to this far, so that the review would flow a little bit easier for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I apologize for it coming out late, but better late than never, girl, okay? We will be convening back down here again on tomorrow for a review of tonight's episode of Queen Sugar. I got to go watch it. In the meantime, in between time, y'all remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on these YT streets, the YouTube streets. Comment down in the comment section over on YouTube and let me know your thoughts and opinions about this new show. Do you like it? Do you like the direction it's going in? Child, did you like that little touch of lesbianism? Did you get into it? Anyway, if you have not become a Love Thang on YouTube by subscribing to my channel, or a Love Thang over on Spreaker by following my podcast over there, please do so today, right now. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit your notification bell button twice so that each and every time I go live from this channel, you will be notified and you can come over and join in the conversation. Thank you all all for all y'all support. I really appreciate it. I say thank you to my new subscribers and welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy it. I do get on camera, but a lot of times I'm on Spreaker as well because I kill two birds with one stone, girl. That's what I do. That's it. That's all. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. I will see you guys tomorrow for Queen Sugar. Have a great remainder to your Wednesday night. Peace.